Hello friends, I am Shinde from RBNB college. In last video, we shall discuss about the meristematic tissue. This meristematic tissue means this tissue have ability to divide itself. Means this meristematic tissue is present in the growing region of the plant body. Now this meristem, it is classified on the basis of their position, on their function or origin. These are the three classification of the meristem. They are studied in last video. Now in this video we shall discuss about the permanent tissues. Now this tissue, they are classified on whether the cell can be divided or not divided. Means this tissue, they are classified on the basis of dividation of the cell or they do not divide. Means some cells are divided or some cells are formed but they are not divided. Means they are permanently found in the plant body. And there are two types of the tissues. First one, meristematic tissue. You know this meristematic tissue, it is actively dividing. And this tissue, it is found in the region of root tips or shoot tips. Now this meristem is very important because present the dividing cells. These cells are divided. Now the next one tissue, this is the most important tissue, permanent tissue. This permanent tissue present in plants, tissue is matures and this tissue is mature but later they do not divide. Means tissue are formed and after maturation this tissue is not divided, and this type of tissue is called the permanent tissue. And these permanent tissues, there are two types of the permanent tissue, simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissue. Now these two important tissues are present in this permanent tissue. Now this first one, simple tissue. This simple tissue means this type of the tissue, only one cells are, only one means similar type of the cells are produced, only one type of the cells. In these similar cells or they can form in the simple tissue. There are three types of the simple tissues. Like the parenchyma, these simple permanent tissues are classified on three types. The first one, parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. These are the three types of the simple permanent tissue. And next one, these complex tissues is two or more type of the cells are produced. Means different types of the cells are formed in the complex permanent tissues. Now you know this complex permanent tissues are xylem and phloems. These xylem and phloem tissues, they are form the two or more type of the cells. But in this simple tissue, they are form only one type of the cell. Cells are similar. They are not other cells are formed. But in complex tissue, two or more type of the cells are formed in plant body. The first, we will discuss about the parenchyma. The first type of the tissue, simple permanent tissue, is a parenchyma. This parenchyma tissue, it is a living tissue. It is present in plant body is non-woody or soft region of root, stem and leaves. This region, the location of this tissue, permanent tissue, means this parenchyma is present in the non-woody part of the plant body. The hard part of the plant body, these tissues are not found, only the soft part of the plant body, these tissues are present. Now this is a important tissue, it is a living type of the cells are found in the plant body. The second type of the tissue is a collenchyma. It is another type of the living tissue is found in the plant body, and sclerenchyma is dead tissue. These are the three types of the simple permanent tissue. Now the first, parenchyma. This parenchyma tissue, the location is a non-woody soft area of the plant body. this tissue, it is a important characteristics, is a living type of the tissue. Now this structure of this tissue, the tissue, this parenchyma, the cells of parenchyma, it is oval shape structure. The cell of parenchyma is oval or isodiametrical shape. This parenchyma tissues, structure of this parenchyma, this tissue is a thin cell wall. The inner cells, it is a dense protoplasm. Inner side, it is a dense protoplasm. In this parenchyma cells, there are more number of protoplasm, nucleus, this is a protoplasm. In some cells present the vacuoles. These vacuoles are found. Vacuoles. This cell, it is an isodiametrical shape. Parenchyma is isodiametric shape. Means this one of the cell of this parenchyma, the size of this cell is equal in length or width is equal. It is a isodiametrical cells of the parenchyma. Structure of this parenchyma. The parenchyma cells, they are isodiametrical shape. In this cell, in between these cells, there are found the intercellular spaces. These intercellular spaces are present in between the two cells. In this region, the location means the intercellular gap is present in these cells. Means it is called the intercellular spaces are found in the parenchyma tissue. Now the next one important characters, it is a spherical shapes. This, it is a spherical shape. Some cells of parenchyma, it is a spherical. Some cells of this parenchyma, it is oval shape structure. It is a oval shape. Parenchyma is oval shape structure, or it is also polyhedral shape. Means different structure are seen in the parenchyma. Now this parenchyma is a living cells. It is a living type of the tissue. It contains, inside of this cell, it is contained dense cytoplasm, vacuoles. The structure of this parenchyma, it is a oval shape, spherical, isodiametrical shape of this parenchyma tissue. The most important, this tissue, it is the main bulk of stem, root and leaves region. In this parenchyma tissue, there are several characteristics or important characters of this parenchyma. It is found in the non-woody region, or it is a soft region of the leaves, fruits, flowers. In this region, this parenchyma is found. But this present in the cell, inside of the cells are found the vacuoles, cytoplasm, means the protoplasmic contents is found in these cells. Or most important character of this parenchyma, it is the intercellular spaces are present. The next point, main function of parenchyma. This parenchyma tissue is most important function for storage of food in the form of starch. Now this parenchyma is most important, means some cells of parenchyma, they can storage the food material in some plants. Means the sweet potato, for example, sweet potato, the cells of this sweet potato storage the food material, means it is an important function of this parenchyma. The next one important function of parenchyma, in aquatic plants, in hydrophytic plants, they can important function, it is called, this tissue is found in this aquatic plant, this tissue is called the parenchyma. In aquatic plant or hydrophytic, means this plant is growing in water, and this plant, this parenchyma is present, but they can form the air cavities, and it is called the parenchyma. In hydrophytic plants, this parenchyma, it is called parenchyma. It is called parenchyma. Storage of water. Main function of this parenchyma, storage of water, or in aquatic plants, they can present the air cavities. And this aquatic plants is most important function for this parenchyma is this plant is float on water surface. Because in these cells, parenchyma cells, storage the tissues, means these spongy tissues are present, and these tissues are important for the floating of plant body in the water body. It is the main function of parenchyma in aquatic plants. Now the next important function of this parenchyma, it is called the chlorenchyma. This parenchyma, it is called the chlorenchyma. Chlorenchyma means in some plants it is present the chlorophyll pigments or chloroplast is present in some plants, and this parenchyma storage the chloroplast containing cells, and this it is called the chlorenchyma. Now this chlorenchyma is most important function for photosynthesis. The structure of this chlorenchyma is located, insert the tears shows tears of leaf showing this chlorenchyma it is found the two types of the cells, palisades and spongy cells. In leaf region. This chlorenchyma present the chloroplast containing cells, and this parenchyma showing the photosynthetic function. In this, it is called the chlorenchyma cells, and these chlorenchyma cells found the palisades parenchyma. It is a palisades tissue, palisade parenchyma, and another cells like the spongy parenchyma. Spongy parenchyma. The most important function of this chlorenchyma, it is one of the present in some plants, and it is most important function for the photosynthesis. photosynthetic function. This parenchyma is most important function for photosynthesis. Means this chloroplast containing cells is found in the spongy as well as palisade tissue, and now this parenchyma is function of this parenchyma is a photosynthetic. Now the next important function of parenchyma, this parenchyma is present in the xerophytic plants or in also present at the region of the xylem, means permanent tissues, other complex permanent tissue like the xylem and phloem. This parenchyma is also found, and this parenchyma is also important for the help for conduction of the food and water in the plant body. These are the different function of the parenchyma. Now in this video we shall discuss about this important tissue, simple permanent tissue is a parenchyma. And you know this parenchyma, it is a living tissue and it is found in plant body in everywhere, means the different parts of the plant body, right, the root, stem and leaves region, and it is also found in the xylem and phloem tissues. And this parenchyma, it is oval, spherical, isodiametrical in shape. This parenchyma having intercellular spaces, also vacuoles and protoplasmic content is found inside of this parenchyma cells. Now this parenchyma is most important function for storage of food material in some plants, or this parenchyma is also important for in aquatic plant for the air cavities form. It is called the parenchyma, and some plant it is present the chlorophyll pigments, and this pigment is important for the photosynthesis. Now stop here.